How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Winking. Michael, hope everybody's having a great day so far. Wanted to bring you guys my just kind of a quick summary and reaction video to the Bethesda E3 press conference last night. Apologize I didn't get this out last night. It kind of ended a little bit late. Felt like it was long. Oh my gosh, it just felt like that thing went on and on forever. But this one was weird for me. I felt like, and I kind of feel like maybe other people feel the same way, but I felt like this thing it was so hit or miss, like dry ice almost. Like, man, some of the stuff was like, yes, this is awesome, and then some of it was like, why are you even talking about this? But let's get into a quick summary, quick breakdown of this Bethesda conference. And this is via Kotaku. They were nice enough to put together everything Bethesda announced at E3 2019, just to kind of jog our memories. We won't probably get into all of it, but let's get into some of the good and some of the bad. And it really it was so funny because some of it was, I can't even think of anything where I was like, maybe that was okay. It was either like, yes, this is a good thing, or no, this is a bad thing. But here we go. First up, and we'll just kind of go through this in the order of which which Kotaku has it, maybe not necessarily the order of the conference itself, but there was some really cool stuff announced for Bethesda. Really cool new games, new IPs. I mean, brand new stories, games. I mean, non-sequels, but Ghostwire Tokyo was one of those. Has an official, just basically a teaser trailer, no gameplay, but wow, what a game. I mean, this is from the creators of The Evil Within. I think the studio's like Tango something or other. I apologize for not knowing that, but either way, Ghostwire Tokyo, if you haven't seen the trailer, I would definitely check it out. It's definitely the same type of obscure premise as The Evil Within. Basically, people are disappearing and you need to figure out why, but it looks really, really cool and it's very intriguing looking. So that was one very good positive from Bethesda. Next, and this is the one I think a lot more people are talking about, is Deathloop. Once again, was just a cinematic trailer. No gameplay footage was shown, but man, this is another one that looks like it could be onto something really, really neat. It's the same folks that brought us this Dishonored, and they said it's a mind-bending story, meticulous design levels, similar to Dishonored. It's all about playing the way you want to play. Seems like the story revolves around time loops, not information aside from the trailer. And that's what it looks like. It looks like in the teaser verbiage, they were like, time is on your side instead, time's not on your side. But pretty cool. Definitely a very interesting reveal. So those two new games, new franchises, if you will, look very interesting for Bethesda and exciting. I mean, I got to tell you, they look pretty good. And then we had the heavy hitter, Doom Eternal, release date November 22nd. Got to see quite a bit of gameplay footage. They also revealed a new gameplay mode, Escape. Doom Eternal's gameplay looks great. Got cinematic kills, meaning, like the death blows. Looks a lot like Quake to me, to be honest with you, which is funny because the next showcase of it will be at QuakeCon, and they're just going to call it DoomCon, but somehow work it into QuakeCon. I'm not really sure how that's all going to work out, but that's when we're going to see more of Doom. Again, the gameplay looks really clean. The game looks really good, really polished, really finished. Hit detection looks great. Hitboxes look good. I mean, overall, it looks like it's a finished product, and we're getting it November 22nd. This was also another shining star of Bethesda's press conference. But let's get into some of the more questionable ones. Those three were really the great ones, and then you start to kind of get into, I don't know, jump into Fallout 76. Basically, they're updating it. They're continuing to work on it. Bethesda's entire press conference was interesting because I felt like they could have done the entire thing in probably 30 to 45 minutes as opposed to dragging it out for however long it went on. But they did. I don't know. This is good to see them still committed to Fallout 76. I know there's a lot of controversy, a lot of things. It's a game I really wasn't that into, and I like Fallout games. I like Elder Scrolls games. But at the same time, it's good to see they're still committed to the product. They are also saying that the fans that are playing it, the people that are playing the game, are also committed to it. So that's really cool to see. Their entire presentation, they had a lot of showcases of gamers and their developers and how important it is and how basically like hey, thank you so much for everything, even though we've had a really rough year. It was really cool that they acknowledged some of their hiccups too. They actually said, hey, you guys let us know we were messing up, and we appreciate that. So that was also pretty neat to see. But what got kind of old with Bethesda's press conference was the shills in the front of the audience. They obviously packed the people in the front with Bethesda homers. I don't blame them for doing this. I mean, you're at a conference. You don't want things to go wrong. It's been a rough year. It was clearly obvious that the entire front of that press conference was all Bethesda homers and plants, and they were cheering and screaming and clapping for everything they announced. It got to be sort of comical by the time it was done. But to sum this up, Fallout 76 gets a major free update. They're bringing NPCs to the game, which is what they should have done in the first place. They're doing some other polished things, going to add more content. So they're going to continue to support this game through its rough start. Elder Scrolls Blades is coming to Switch. Again, this was interesting because I get it, why it's coming to Switch, but at the same time, I mean, it's microtransaction-y to all get out, just like mobile games are. This game's got quite a bit of heat for the treasure chests and the timers and everything like that. So this is something that I can't imagine a whole lot of people would be excited for. I mean, if everybody has smartphones now, if you really want to play this game, download it on your phone. I'm sure it's much more convenient than lugging around your Switch. And if you are going to take your Switch places, aren't you just going to play Skyrim, Dark Souls, Legend of Zelda, Mario, the other, tons of offerings that it has? I would say Elder Scrolls Blades would be at the very bottom of my list to play on Switch. But, to each their own. Again, this one for me was pretty sour. Elder Scrolls Online getting new dungeon DLC adventure called Scalebreaker. This was received pretty well, more than just the shills in the front of the audience. Everybody was pretty happy about this. Elder Scrolls Online continues to impress, and it looks like that's still going to be the case. Bethesda is working on Elder Scrolls 6. They didn't say anything else about that. Elder Scrolls 6 was dormant. They just said they're working on it. It's not going to be their first game that comes out. They're coming out with something else called Starfield before Elder Scrolls 6. Pretty disappointing to me that they didn't show off anything for Starfield. That was kind of an interesting play. I mean, even if they could have just put together a cinematic trailer, I really would have liked that. Saw a lot of people bashing on them for the cinematic trailers. I'm kind of the opinion I'd rather see a cinematic trailer for a brand new franchise reveal. But other people were like, why is there no gameplay for Ghostwire Tokyo or any of that? But I'm not going to harp on them too hard for that. I think if you get to the next E3 and you have no gameplay, that's a problem. But when you're first brand new revealing something and it's just cinematic, that's okay. That's not bad. And then to kind of sum it up here, Wolfenstein is coming out in July. Wolfenstein Cyberpilot's a VR game. And then we have Wolfenstein Young Blood. And that one's coming July 26th. It looks pretty good, to be honest, man. I mean, it looks, it's gory. It was a very impressive gameplay review of it. Not a lot was shown on it, but it still looked pretty cool. I was kind of impressed with that one. And, it's Wolfenstein in July. I mean, a month away, and we got a new Wolfenstein. This one, this next one here, Commander Keen, the mobile game. Oh, man, I don't know what in the world this was. I think even the plants in the audience had a hard time getting energized about this. This is a mobile reveal. Commander Keen. I don't know what Commander Keen is. I'm not familiar with that franchise at all, to be completely honest with you. It says Commander Keen is back. A classic Saturday morning cartoon in free-to-play mobile game form. It's a modern take on the very old id side-scroller starring Billy Boy and Billy Girl, the children of the old-school Commander Keen, and therefore canonically, the great-grandchildren of one BJ. Okay, Blazkowicz. Okay, so that's kind of different, but this presentation, you have to watch the video. I was not thrilled about it. I was really surprised that Bethesda, after the year they focused as much attention on mobile as they did, especially with the reception that they've had overall as a company. But it didn't go as horribly wrong for them as I thought maybe it could have, like it did for Blizzard. It seemed like people were very courteous and very gracious and nice to them about these reveals. They still got a little bit of applause. Nobody really was no boos. I didn't hear any of the boo birds. So that was kind of surprising, but I think the energy of E3 sort of takes that out of it. And I don't know. They have a Rage 2 expansion, Rise of the Ghosts. Again, I wasn't, why. I guess you got to show it off, but they spent a considerable amount of time on that. And then they had this weird sort of reveal with some new software technology for game streaming called Orion. And they showed Doom 2016 being played on a mobile device with a controller. And they said that Orion basically works with platforms that are game streaming platforms to, I guess, to make it better. It makes the games work 20% better or something. And it kind of works outside of the bandwidth. So if you have bandwidth issues, this is supposed to supplement that in some regard. It was an interesting thing that they brought it up because it just didn't really fit. People were like, "What is Orion? What is this?" But either way, I mean, it's a really cool thing, and I think what they're showing is this E3 is about cloud-based gaming, and really the last, let's say, 2 months has been about that. So I think this was Bethesda's way of showing that, hey, we're also dialed into this new wave of technology, and we're committed to making our games work on these platforms. And I think that was important because, while you're looking at it at E3 and you're caught up in the energy and all that, you're going to say, why the hell are they talking about this? But at the end of the day, what's your worst nightmare game to stream on a game streaming service? It's probably a Bethesda game. Skyrim, they don't even work normally. So it was good, I guess, in a lot of ways for them to say, hey, we recognize that our games are huge, they're vast, and we have just developed something to help with that. So, and they said it's going to work with other games as well. So that's kind of a cool thing that they kind of introduced that and talked about that a little bit. But that's really about it for Bethesda's E3. I mean, it was, like I said, it was very hit and miss. I mean, you had some good things in there, you had some bad. But like I said, dry ice. There's some of it I really liked, and then some of it was just really just draining. I mean, they droned on and on. And again, I think it was important that they did the thank the fans thing, but at the end of the day, it just felt like it continued to go on and on and on with no, I mean, it did. It just felt like it lasted forever because everybody was waiting for Doom as well, and that kind of overshadowed it. But they did have some surprises, and I think that was good with Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. But that's it for Bethesda. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Bethesda's E3. I'll have some more videos coming on E3 coverage. Probably we'll do Ubisoft, Square Enix tonight. We'll definitely do a Nintendo Direct. Nintendo Direct is I believe, tomorrow around noon or so, depending on which time zone you're in, 9 a.m. Pacific. But yeah, I just want to say, you guys, thank you so much for all the likes, subscriptions, everything you do. If there's anything you want to see me talk about or you want to see covered, let me know. I'll definitely do that. I'm on Twitter. You can hit me up anytime there. But thanks again for everything, and I will see you all on the next one.